Seahawks made a very interesting choice. We're going to go with a 70-year-old defensive head coach over a quarterback. I don't think they'll ever replace him. The Dolphins have never replaced Marino. The Broncos have never long-term replaced Elway. The Packers, Favre to Rodgers, absolute outlier. Total outlier. So the Seahawks made a choice. Now, Tampa did the other thing. Tampa took Bruce Arians and said, you go upstairs. Tommy doesn't want that. So Tampa, that just won a Super Bowl, was willing to take the coach that just won a Super Bowl. Say, get upstairs. Tommy's not happy with you. The Seahawks, who have been eroding for 6-7 years, chose the coach over the quarterback. Well, Colin Russell wanted out. No, he didn't. He wanted out unless Pete would leave. Then he would have stayed. So if I owned the Seattle Seahawks, and I don't think they have particularly strong ownership right now. Paul Allen's sister, Jody Allen, I don't think it's particularly strong ownership and leadership. What I would have done is said, hey, Pete, we owe you a bunch of money. Go upstairs, and I'm going to go hire, there was Brian Dable, Josh McDaniel was out there. There's a bunch of good coaches. I mean, Belichick is now 17-16 without Brady. We all know what's happening now. You got to favor the quarterback. If I'm Robert Kraft, Belichick, Brady, I got to go with Brady. I'll find another coach. If I was on the Seahawks, Pete or Russ, like Pete, I'd go with Russ. Tampa's figured it out. Arians wins a Super Bowl. 12 months later, get upstairs. So, and there was a lot of good offensive coaches out there for Seattle. And they just, nope. Kevin O'Connell, Minnesota, I think it's going to be a boon for Kirk Cousins. Mike McDaniel, Josh McDaniel, Nathaniel Hackett, Brian Dable, a lot of options. They chose the old defensive coach over the quarterback. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. That's just all you have to do is look around this league. Dolphins, Broncos never found their next star. All these years. They've gone through 30 quarterbacks.
That's why I always said I would not trade Russell Wilson unless he dragged me into the office and demanded it. There's no way I'm moving on from a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback in their prime. I would have got to figure it out.
No, I would have. If I own the team, I go to Russell and I say, listen, what do you want to do at coach? And he says, young offensive guy. I'd have said, Pete, get in here. Got to move you upstairs. I want to pay all the money, move you upstairs. You can be good. I mean, we can, but there's no way I choose the old defensive coach over the young ascending star quarterback. That's not even an argument.
No, I'm with you. And I think Pete Carroll's great. He's had an incredible career.
Yes, great. Awesome.
Also, you can't have the defense that you had, which has every year gotten worse.
For 5 straight years. It was like 6 straight years.
And that be the quarterback's problem.
So don't overthink the room. Denver's going to be really good really fast. Yes. Like September 7th. They'll be really good. I mean, Stafford's first game, I forget what it was, but Stafford's first game, we were like, whoa.
Also, isn't it interesting that Russ is working with his receivers so publicly?
Oh, he is. Isn't that interesting? So that's what Brady did in Tampa. That's what Stafford did with the Rams. We got video. That's what Russell's doing. Well, where's
Not
Aaron?
saying it didn't happen. Everything doesn't have to be documented for it to be real.
But it is interesting. He's working with his receivers. At night, you see the night video the other night? He had these track suits on his receivers so he could see him. It was like 8:30 at night in Colorado. It was dark. You couldn't see anything. And he put these stickers on his receivers so he could see him in the dark. But Aaron's doing Jeopardy next week.
We're terrible.
By the way, Stafford, it's not going to take long. Stafford's first game as a Ram, 156 passer rating against the Bears week 1. I mean, this thing is going to work fast. Seattle will not find Russell Wilson in 10 years. Russell will be great week 1. That tells you made the wrong decision. There it is. And then not complicated. So I'm just in a mood today. First, I found out I can't eat peanuts anymore.
Nobody said you can't eat peanuts.
Well, no, apparently you just turn into a big tub of goo. So I am not in a mood today to mess with. Yeah, so I can't have a glass of wine. I can't eat peanuts. Avocados are bad. What's the point of living? Seriously. Seriously. Well, you go home. Next thing I'm going to hear tomorrow, chicken parm, killer.
I don't think it's recommended for you to eat chicken parm every day. That I feel like everyone knows.
I used to eat apples. Remember the old saying, apple a day?
What do you mean you can't eat apples?
No. Apple a day keeps the doctor away. 10 years ago, they came out, better wash it, pesticides all over it, kill you.
So you can still eat apples. You should just wash off the apple.
If I have to wash my food, I'm out. Hey, I'm on the go. I'm doing things here. Got a lot of kids. Spa-like comfort at home and endless hot water. Rams are in on both Stephon Gilmore and Honey Badger, all pros in the secondary. Now, the Rams already pay top of the market for a quarterback, a defensive tackle, a corner, a pass rusher. Cooper Kupp's redoing his deal, so he'll be near top of the market. They also went out and paid for Allen Robinson and Bobby Wagner, not top of the market, but $10 million for a middle linebacker. All very key positions. They know what they're doing. They pay the right positions. The Chicago Bears couldn't afford to keep Allen Robinson, and they don't pay their quarterback. And they don't pay two receivers that. And they don't pay a corner that. The Rams are playing a different level upstairs. You just can't see it. They're just better upstairs. Well, their owner's richer. Folks, it's a hard cap. Okay, even the Raiders, who have the poorest owner, just gave Derek Carr $1 zillion and Devontae Adams $1 zillion and Chandler Jones $1 zillion. That's the poorest franchise in the league. The Raiders have the poorest owner. The Jags, nobody goes to their games. They spent $250 million, a lot of it guaranteed in free agency. You just don't see the front offices. Think about the New York Giants. Since Sean McVay has been with the Rams, he's never had a first-round pick. 0. In fewer years, 5, the Giants have had 7 and 3 top 10 picks. They have 0 elite players. Rams have never had a first-round pick. They got great players all over the place. 14 of the 22 Rams starters have been drafted and developed. That's what I say about the Seahawks. The Seahawks don't have first-round picks as very much. Now they do after the trade, but they just can't draft. They've had 6 lousy drafts in a row. In that time, if you look at the last several years, the Seahawks on a bad roster, I think in the last 4 drafts, have 3 starters. The Rams on a Super Bowl roster in the last 3 or 4 drafts have 8 starters. So, you can't see Apple being worth 10 times more than Samsung. They are really good operationally. You just can't see it. You just see the phone. Well, a lot of people like the Samsung phone more. Is that you can go to your Reddit board in your board and talk about Stan Kroenke's richer and the Rams are better run than your franchise. Sorry, they are. The Giants, by the way, I saw this stat the other day. They have the most expensive wide receiver room in 2022. The Giants will. They have the fewest touchdowns by a wide receiver room in 2021. Ain't just the quarterbacks. Not just the stuff you can see. Yeah, Stafford's better. We know that. But there is a big, big gap. The fact the Bears can't afford Allen Robinson, and the Rams not only could afford him, they're going to add 2 more pieces potentially. Stephon Gilmore, they already added Bobby Wagner. Last year they won a Super Bowl paying 2 quarterbacks. Goff and Detroit's salary and Stafford. Bears don't pay 1. But make excuses for your lousy executives. But it's just, we say this all the time. You can see there's like 12 really good quarterbacks in the league, 12, 13. There may be 8 great front offices. Maybe there's 12. But let me tell you something. There's some bad owners, terrible GMs, lousy scouting services. I mean, the Giants have had 7 first-round picks in the last 5 years, 3 top 10. Got no players. I got no players. Hold on. Just threw something away I wanted. Antoine Walker, my guy, joining us live.
Again on April 18th.
It will. Who will be there?
Lots of guys will be there. Who will not be there is Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, that's interesting. They don't have any receivers. You want to build some trust. He won't be there. Great.
He's reportedly expected to skip voluntary meetings and workouts this spring. Okay. So these are not the mandatory ones. Remember, he skipped the mandatory ones last year.
So when they draft 2 wide receivers, And they drafted Amari Rodgers last year. Instead of building trust with them, as Tom Brady is getting on the phone trying to recruit receivers, Aaron will be in Hollywood or Malibu.
Well, I think he was in Hawaii last year.
Hawaii, my bad. Hosting Jeopardy? I forgot. I lost track.
He is expected to be back for minicamp in June.
Oh, June. Oh, okay.
So the off-season program, phase 1, is team meetings, strength and conditioning, physical rehab, and organized teams activities, which begin in May, can include non-contact practices and voluntary veteran minicamp. So this is all the voluntary stuff. And OTAs begin May 23rd. And training camp, the mandatory minicamp is June 7th through 9th, which is a month out from training camp. Look, this is not who Aaron is. And, Tom Brady skips these. A lot of guys skip the voluntary ones,
a lot of guys,
when you're a veteran.
A lot of guys
don't win back-to-back MVPs and then get knocked in the first round of the playoffs to a wildcard team at home.
A lot of guys don't have the worst receiving core in the league. That's just my opinion. But, what do I know?
Look, Aaron's entitled to do whatever he wants. I do think
the messaging's not great.
At some point or another, we can stop talking about him as somebody who is interested in winning championships.
That's right. I mean, listen.
All is fair, right? You are entitled to do whatever it is that you like to do.
Yeah.
And the reaction to whatever it is you like to do is also fair.
Yes, absolutely.
There is something in that. I